Hi Aries, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this video is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Aries and Libra on Mondays. Also, the deck that I'm using today is called the Morgan Greer Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, my information is in the description below. Also, just as a heads up, sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck. I do see them, however, I usually only take cards that jump out like these ones have. And usually if they jump out in groups that are too big, I'll go ahead and put them back. But my main goal is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards here, and then we can get started. All right, Aries. So, I do just want to remind you guys very quickly that in case you enjoy the reading, or if it really resonates with you, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the Judgment card. So the Judgment card is one of those energies that could sometimes go either way, right? So sometimes it can be a difficult energy to deal with, and other times it can be very beneficial, right? Especially when it comes to love. So the Judgment card, as it implies, will be a period of time when you are receiving some kind of judgment, right? So this can manifest itself into your life in a number of different ways, right? For some of you guys, you might be ending relationships. For some of you guys, you might be starting relationships. The Judgment card is also the card of second chances. So I'm seeing that for a lot of you guys, there's a lot of heavy energy when it comes to sort of beginnings and endings right now. It's also important to point out that the Judgment card is sometimes representative of the legal system, and you have the Justice card. So with both those cards together, it may very well be that you or somebody that you know is currently going through the legal system in some way, shape, or form, but that feels a lot less prominent for a whole lot of you. I feel like this energy is more about receiving some kind of a second chance in love, because I see the reunion card and I see a message coming in as well as a new beginning in love. But either way, I feel like this Judgment card is here to really facilitate things for you. It's here to give you some kind of positive energy. So we have the Ace of Cups here. And the Ace of Cups is a new beginning in love, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be love. It could very well be just any kind of emotional endeavor. So what I mean by that is I'm hearing like parent-child relationship here for a lot of you guys. I'm thinking that some of you guys might be having children. Some of you guys might be really trying to reestablish a connection with children. Sometimes it can be very difficult because children, try to develop and the relationship dynamic changes, and sometimes that's something that you as a parent would have to navigate. But in any case, the Ace of Cups specifically talks about sort of this divine energy. So I'm getting that there's this energy of like you're getting a helping hand here. Because if you'll notice, this hand that is holding this Ace of Cups is coming from the clouds, so it's almost like it's divine help coming in here to really help you through your relationships here, right? And I kind of started on explaining what that means, but basically what I wanted to say before I kind of got sidetracked on the divine symbolism of this Ace of Cups is that this could be really any kind of relationship. So it could be platonic friendships, it could be romantic friendships with like a partner or a spouse. It could also be connections with your family or close friends, right? I feel like even coworkers, to be entirely honest, like anything where you have sort of this emotional connection to someone, I feel like is improving here. And for some of you, it might be all of the above, and you might see that all of your areas here that have to do with interpersonal connections are going to improve. But I see the King of Rods, and that to me is a really good energy to have in your readings because, you guys are Aries. That's a fire sign, and the King of Rods is representative of fire signs, right? And more specifically, they represent Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. But I feel like because we have the King of Rods, it's a very mature energy, right? So the King of Rods is somebody who has a lot of energy, but is very warm, kind, and caring, right? So the fire signs get a lot of bad flack for being overly excitable. But, this King of Rods has really learned to be more conscientious of other people and how they feel and what they're doing. So this person is a lot more on the same page as everyone else, if that makes sense, right? So fire signs, along with being excitable, have sort of that predisposition to be kind of renegade. And I feel like this person is much more of a team player, much more mature in that regard. And, that could be you, or that could be a partner or somebody else coming into your life who is very much understanding and receptive of your needs and the needs of everyone else around them. But other aspects of the King of Rods are that he's motivated, driven, passionate, right? Like exciting, like all those are qualities that he's very well known for. And I use sort of these male pronouns for the King of Rods, but understand that it's just the energy. And like I said earlier, it may be you, may very well be another person. Just take it as it resonates. But we have also the Knight of Cups here. Now, the Knight of Cups is actually a really nice card because the Knight of Cups talks about some kind of a message that's coming in, right? And I feel like once we see the Knight, it's a little bit more mature than the Page. Maybe not so much as like the King or the Queen of Cups, but this person certainly has an understanding of what their feelings are and what the feelings of other people are. And this really helps to kind of temper this fire sign energy, right? But with this Nine of Cups, it's an emotional message. And that can usually look like one of two ways. That's usually either a proposal of love or some kind of an apology, right? And I think that in a more like less likely, like in a smaller group of you guys, this is just like an emotional message. So it's like somebody coming forward and just saying like, hey, thanks for all you do, like just sharing a nice little emotion with you. And then for an even smaller group, this is somebody who is like emotional in the sense that they can't control their emotions. So they may come forward with you and they may like pick a fight or like start crying uncontrollably or something like that where they just cannot control themselves. But I'm seeing this Justice card, which is actually really good news because the Justice card, first of all, really tempers like what I said here, and that's why it's such a small group. People are going to be balanced, and your interactions and dealings with other people are going to be balanced, right? So like I was saying earlier, we have also that energy of like somebody who has been kind of excitable in the past but is being tempered. We have sort of this connection improving energy here with the Ace of Cups, also again being tempered. And even now that I realize the King of Rods is also representative of Sagittarius, whose tarot card in the Major Arcana is the Temperance card. So it feels like a lot of this is really balanced. So as we're in the past, it could have been like really extreme or unbalanced. With this Justice card, we're seeing that things are going to be very well, like everyone's going to keep their head. And just sort of to go back on this Nine of Cups for a little bit, we have the Seven of Cups energy here as well. And the Seven of Cups is my fantasy daydreaming card, right? So this person, whoever is doing the communication, has been daydreaming. And honestly, I think it might go both ways. I think that both people are thinking about this connection because it's very prominent in your minds and your hearts, even if you don't think it is. But I'm seeing that definitely with this, there's a whole slew of things that they're thinking about, right? They're thinking about what would they say, scenario A, scenario B, scenario C. Like, this person has kind of thought out the whole 9 yards, and I feel like they're trying to really prepare for every possible thing that could happen. But this is like really important, but I do want to say that I'm getting some kind of a sexual energy here from this Seven of Cups. So for some of you guys where like this is like a coworker or a family bond, that obviously might not resonate. But definitely if you're looking at something like a romantic connection or even like a friendship, you might be dealing with somebody who has been thinking about some of those more like intimate kinds of connections with you, even though, you know, that's not necessarily reflective of how you feel. But either way, I'm seeing here that somebody is in this really elevated Empress energy. And it's a great match for this King of Rods because the Empress is the Queen of Queens, right? So she is the queen, has the qualities, I should say, of the Queen of Cups, of the Queen of Wands, of the Queen of Swords, and of the Queen of Pentacles, right? So she's very well-rounded, again, with this Justice card, balanced energy. And now that I'm looking at it, the Justice card is the card of Libra, and then the Empress isn't necessarily tied to any specific astrological sign, but it is the card of Venus, and Venus rules over both Taurus and Libra. So for some of you, you guys might be seeing some very heavy Libra influences here. Maybe you guys have some Libra in your chart, but I'm definitely getting that there's sort of like this fear of this reunion for some of you guys, because I'm seeing the Three of Cups, and the Three of Cups, like I said earlier, talks about reunions and celebrations, and it looks like somebody's stressed out about this situation. Probably the person who's thinking about it all day long. They're in this Nine of Swords energy where they're kind of like stressing out about it and thinking about how, like, what if this goes wrong? What if this goes not so right? And I don't think that this is very terribly warranted right now, because we have this balance, because we have this, like I said earlier, this is like the second chance kind of card. So I'm getting it for some of you, for sure. You're going to see a lot of, like, the moral of this reading is that you're going to see a lot of improvement in your personal relationships, and at the end of the day, you're going to have this sort of celebration, because this Three of Cups is sort of the drinking, like the going out and drinking with your friends kind of card. And I know that, you know, right now, as we're currently in quarantine, that doesn't sound too terribly likely, but do know that at some point you guys are going to see these reunions, and you're going to see a lot more of this improvement in your relationships, romantic or otherwise. But that was your reading first time around, Aries. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment, because it really helps out the channel, and I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said earlier, I upload my new Aries videos on Mondays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for next reading.